We already know what GitHub looks like and more or less what it offers, so it's time to start working with it. To start working with GitHub, you need to create an account on this platform. It is very easy, so I won't even show you how to do it, because you'll figure it out with no problem. GitHub offers the creation of free and paid accounts. There are a few differences that you can find out about on GitHub website, but we are of course interested in a free account. With a free account, you can create public and private repositories. So now I will ask you to create your own account on GitHub and come back to me right after. I hope you got your own account on this point. This is the starting panel you will get after creating an account and logging into it. And now you're ready to create your first remote repository on GitHub. We can do it by clicking this button right here, Start a Project, or by clicking this plus sign right here and choosing the option New Repository. So let's click it. And this is the screen you'll get. Here you can see the owner of that repository, and here you can choose an account. Because you can have many accounts on GitHub related to many repositories. Here we have to place the repository name. So let's call it Project 1. You can see this name of a repository is available. We could also use a spacebar right here. But as you can see on this message right here, our new repository will be created as Project 1 with the dash, because as we know, we can have spaces in the URL addresses. Below we have a description option, which is optional, but let's type something in it. I think it fits for now. Here we can choose if our repository should be public or private. You can choose one or another. As you can see, a public repository is a repo that anyone on the internet can see this repository. And you can choose who can commit. A private one is where you choose who can see and commit this repository. For example, if you want to work with some friends in a team on this project, but we want to place a public repository, here we can see this option. Initialize this repository with a README file, for example. Let's check this option. We can also add git ignore file automatically, as well as we can choose a license for our repository. We won't be choosing these options, but we will just initialize this repository with a README file in it. Here you can see that this will set main as the default branch, and you can change the default name in your settings. But those default options will be good for us. Now all we need to do is to click this button, Create Repository. So let's do this. And this is the page of our repository. As you can see, this is the URL to this repository. Since it's public, you can place this URL in your browser and you can check this repository on your own computer. Here you can see it's my account. After slash, we have a name of this repository. We are on the main branch. As we know, we could name it differently. Here we can find or create a branch, but we won't do it. Here we can see we have one branch in our project. Here we can see we have one commit. It was made 2 minutes ago. It was made by me, by the Pitson, and it was initial commit. This was the automatic commit made by GitHub while initializing our repo. You can click this commit to see it better. And as you can see, this is our commit message, which is initial commit. On the main branch, we have the author of this commit, when did it happen, and a description, what changed in this commit. We have a README file added with the title Project 1, which is the name of our project, and a description, which is our first repository. Let's go back to our repository page. As you can see, we have a README file attached to our project. We can see it was attached in initial commit 4 minutes ago. And below, we have a content of our README file, where we can see the title, which is our repository name, and a description, which we wrote while creating this repository. Here you can see also the ID of our commit in its short version, but when we click it, we go to this commit, and here you can see its whole hash number, which is its ID. And what's interesting, here you can see it has 0 parents, because as you know in Git, every commit has a parent, except the first one, initializing commit. Let's go back again to our repository page. Now I want to show you that on GitHub, we can work with our remote repository as like with our local repository on our computer. We can, for example, create a file. To do that, let's click this Add File button and choose Create New File option. Let's click it. We have to name our file. Let's call it About HTML. Here we have an editor for this file. So let's place the h1 tag with some text in it. Here we could choose the branch where we want to create this file, but as we know, we only have the main branch. Here we have the preview option where we can see our file. Right here, we can go back to edit mode and the preview. And now all we have to do is to commit a new file. Here you can see automatic commit message. You can change it or leave it this way. You can add an optional extended description if you want. And we even get these options where you can commit directly to the main branch, or you can create a new branch for this commit and start a pull request. We want this file in our main branch, so let's leave it this way. And let's click this button, Commit New File. Let's do it. And this is the effect. Now in our working directory, we have 2 files. One is readme.md file, which was created with the initial commit 13 minutes ago, and about HTML file with the commit message create about HTML, which was created just now. We can click it right here, see the whole commit, see all the changes, what happened to this commit, when did it happen, and by whom, which you can see right here. Let's go back to our repo page. So as you can see, you can work on your repository directly from GitHub. We can also upload files from our computer with no problem. All we have to do is click Add File button, choose Upload Files option. Let's click it. Here we can drag our files from our computer, or we have this Choose Your Files option. Let's click it. As you can see, I have those 2 files on my computer. All I need to do is to choose them, click Open. We can see uploading, and now below we can see that our files has been uploaded. We can delete it clicking those X buttons if we chose the incorrect file, for example. Now all we need to do is to commit these changes. We already have automatic commit message, which is add files via upload. We can change it if we want. Like this. We can add an optional extended description if we want. Choose the branch, create new branch. We already know this. And what we need to do is to click this button, Commit Changes. Let's do it. And here you can see the effect of this operation. Now we have our README file, our About HTML file, which we created working on GitHub with our remote repo, and also index.html file and style CSS file, which we uploaded straight from my computer. We can see in which commit it was uploaded and where it was, where we can see it was just now. So this is how you create a repository on GitHub. But now let's try to upload a repository on this platform. Let's not waste time and let's move on.